Welcome back everyone, Mariah Monetize here. In today's video, I'm going to be going over the price of Bitcoin. Haven't done that in a while, but we are currently sitting in approximately the $20,000 range. So I'm going to be talking about where I think Bitcoin is going and if I have re-entered after selling all of my positions. So let's go ahead and just get right into it. This is the weekly chart here on Bitcoin, which has given us absolutely zero confirmation of any sort of a momentum shift, okay? So the truth of the matter is that we don't have a ton of resistance until about $14,000. And when you look back on the price of Bitcoin, once that 20 mark was broken, I mean, this is a free fall right here, okay, to about $14,000. So just a lot of air and a lot of space in that particular range. So overall, I do think that we are going to go lower, and I think there's a very big possibility that Bitcoin can even make a run to $30,000, chop in between, and really not make a desirable entry point until sometime this fall. So it's currently June. I would say sometime October, November, December. I'm thinking Q4 is when we're going to see a massive entry point. When you look back at all of Bitcoin, you see that if you got anywhere near the top, within even 20% of the top, if you're trying to sell close to the top and buy close to the bottom, there was a long period of time that you would have to wait in order to get that very favorable trade. So it's not like, when I sold Bitcoin and other assets, which I had no intention on selling Bitcoin, for me, this is like how I think I'm going to recover funds that I potentially might not get back on Celsius, which is not necessarily the best decision, but I am going to go ahead and stick with it. So, like I mentioned, it's all about a patience game to get the most favorable trade. And so I'm going to stay very patient. I think Bitcoin can easily go up to $30,000 and eventually make some sort of a bottom around Q4 of this year. I actually might see a favorable entry point over the next week, over the next couple of months, to where I might want to actually get back in, get that little gain there, and then have more to play with for when I believe we will see a bottom sometime in Q4. And I'm doing my best to make decisions, okay? None of us really know what's going to happen, and that's just the reality of all of this. So like I said, weekly chart isn't really promising, no momentum shift, okay? And we don't really have much support until about $14,000. This right here is the daily chart on Bitcoin. Yesterday was looking hopeful when we saw this green 2 trading above the green 1. I would like to see today's daily candle get over the high of yesterday's candle, which was $21,711. It's not looking super likely that that's going to happen, but I think we're going to see another dip lower if that doesn't happen. Let's go and take a look at the 12-hour chart here. 12-hour chart failed to make a higher high, so I wanted to see it go above the high of this candle, which is 22,974. We now have a red 2 trading below a red 1, and so this is a TD sequential system if you'd like to add it to your trading view setup here. And so this right here is bearish in my opinion. This right here was bearish, not making a higher high. If I saw Bitcoin go above about 23,000, I would have been hopeful. But the 12-hour chart still is really not giving us much. Okay, so on the 4-hour chart, we made a higher high, okay, but we have also made, is this a lower low? The low of this candle, 19,805 and 19,820. So extremely close to making a lower low on the 4-hour, but not quite yet. So there is a little bit of hope here on the 4-hour chart. I'm also a little bit going to be getting into kind of comparing what happened after Bitcoin hit $20,000 back in 2017 and how long it took Bitcoin to bottom. So we're going to be taking a look at that as well. On the 1-hour chart, we have made a lower low, which of course is bearish. So the charts are leaning very bearish. This right here is the 30-minute chart, also bearish, making a lower low, and just a lot of weakness across the board. It's currently 3:10 p.m., so the stock market's going to be closing soon. We're going to take a look over there as well. 10-minute chart looking extremely weak as well. Let's take a look at the 5-minute. 5-minute, no. Not even a little bit of hope on the 5 minute. Not even a little bit of hope on the 1 minute. So across nearly all time frames, we are looking quite bearish here. The only one giving us a little bit of hope is that 4 hour. If Bitcoin can hold above the low of this candle right here, that 19,805, I might have said 18 earlier, but 19,805, then that could be a hopeful situation. So let's go ahead and take a look here. Ethereum sitting at 1078. We have gold sitting at 1837. We have Coinbase sitting at 5324. We did see a little bit of action when it comes to the Celsius coin. So it did make a run up to about $1.60. It's currently sitting at 94 cents. Okay, and someone made a good point in the Twitter feed. I personally have not gotten involved on this. I've been kind of sort of tempted. But people that are trying to take advantage of the short might end up getting burned, right? I mean, if you bought at $1.60, when people are telling you to put sell orders at like $100, like you're super in the negative now. So that's kind of something to think about there. Nexo token sitting at 67 cents. And yeah, so that's kind of what is happening over there. So let's go ahead and take a look at traditional markets. Let's take a look at SPY. We're gonna go ahead and go to the 10-minute chart on SPY here. And so I believe, so SPY, this right here is 930. SPY gapped up this morning and continued to trend upwards. And that's why I was a little bit surprised of Bitcoin's price action today. There wasn't like an overwhelming amount of correlation in a sense. Like, you know, SPY's currently trending up on the 10-minute. Bitcoin is currently trending down. Let's go ahead and take a look here at Tesla. Tesla's sitting at $713. So I'm gonna go back over to crypto. And I know this video isn't like super exciting today. I'm like a little bit drained, but we're gonna get through this. So let's go ahead and take a look. This is the 7-day chart. And if you look, so it's kind of weird how the 3 weeks in a row, the top was almost very close, right? So the high, 19,697, 19,797, and then 19,891. So Bitcoin like sat up in that $20,000 range for quite a significant amount of time. Well, it didn't sit up there. I mean, it was going, it was quite volatile, but the fact that it was able to hit that amount 3 weeks in a row is like not your typical price action. So we know that Bitcoin went up here from about 19.8 down to about 13. That is the wrong measurement. I want to pick price range. Let's try that again. So Bitcoin fell about 83%. Bitcoin has currently fallen about 70% or so. So if Bitcoin falls 80%, that would take it down to, I believe, just below $14,000. So in combination of Bitcoin typically falling at least 80% when it comes to a bear market, in combination with that just massive lack of support buildup until about $14,000, that can kind of get things into trouble. So I have not bought anything back, and I may consider, like I said, if I see an entry point opportunity, might get in to get a bit of a gain, but am anticipating that Bitcoin is going to go lower. I am ready to start accumulating Bitcoin at probably about $15,000. I also wanted to show you guys here the date range. So when you take like this candle over here to when Bitcoin made the lows of around, between $3,000 and $4,000, that was approximately 1 year, okay? That was approximately 52 weeks when this was happening. So, maybe we're over here. And like I said, so Bitcoin topped in about December of 17, and then it made that bottom about a year later. So this right here is December and January of 2018 and 2019, so about a year later. Then we saw this massive rally from about $3,000 all the way up to $13,000. What percentage gain is that? That is over 300% return, okay? That is really excellent. And then we saw Bitcoin fall another 71%. So technically still in a bear market. And there was that opportunity in March of 20 to buy Bitcoin at about $3,000 to $4,000. So it's kind of hard because this was induced by the virus situation. And so I don't know if we would get like kind of like that second buying opportunity. So if we have a similar situation of what happened back in 2018, then we can anticipate, like I said, I'm keeping a very close eye on Q4 of this year to get back in. So where would that put us? That would put basically us being about 1 month behind when it comes to the chart. So I mean, if you're kind of comparing like where we're at like on a time line situation, then that would put us like kind of in this range of similar price action. So maybe we're closer to over here. We get a little bit of a bounce soon, and then we get that last big drop where there's a massive buying opportunity. So I personally am trying to stay patient because I do think there is a massive opportunity coming. So what I'm personally doing is trying everything I can to accumulate more USD on the sidelines. I think there's more things that are going to happen in the cryptocurrency space. I think we will see another stable coin go down. I think we will see another lending platform pause withdrawals. I think that a lot of companies are going to be exposed during this period of time. And if Bitcoin was to go up immediately, we really wouldn't, the bad companies wouldn't reveal themselves, but the longer we're in a bear cycle, the more companies that have bad financials will be revealed. So I hope you enjoyed this video. If you want to get your Bitcoin and other crypto assets off of exchanges, off of lending platforms, go ahead and get yourself a Ledger Nano S. I have a link down below for that. That's all that I have for you today. As always, go out there and create a portfolio that you love.